What's up, Hoopers? It's Coach Alex from THINCPRO Basketball, and in today's video, we're going to go over how to be a great teammate in the game of basketball. Let's get started. All right, guys, well, in today's video, we are talking all about how to be a great teammate in the game of basketball. So we're just simply going to talk about it and the things that you can do in order to do that. And the first thing we're going to talk about is your work ethic, the way you work, the time that you put in on the court. If you're trying to prove yourself and you're trying to be a great teammate and help and contribute to your team as much as you can, then what does your work ethic look like? Are you the one that's coming into the gym first before practice starts? Are you the last one to leave because you're putting in extra work after practice in order to make yourself a better player, which then will allow you to help and contribute more to the team? So the time that you put in is very valuable in what you're trying to do in order to become a better teammate. Are you doing the things necessary in order to work on your talent, your skills, and whatever your team needs you to do in order to help the team? So putting in that work, being the first in the gym, working on things that you may need extra work with, just showing your teammates that you're trying to put in the work so you can help them as much as you can. Are you the last to leave because you're putting in extra work, working on the things that you may have done in practice that you think needs to be addressed in order to perform and be better? Are you putting in that extra time? That's all it's about, working hard. Your work ethic is the first thing that you should be thinking about when being a great teammate, because if your teammates see you putting in that extra work and working hard, then they'll follow along. They'll want to do the same thing because work ethic is contagious. And if that's contagious throughout a whole team, it's only going to make you and your teammates around you better. All right, guys, so we just talked about your work ethic and working hard, putting in that time in order to do that. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is doing whatever is asked of you, playing in your role. If your coach is asking you, hey, I need you to be a three-point shooter, then your job is to be a three-point shooter, making three-point shots, forcing teams to guard you on the three-point line, putting that pressure on defenses because of your shooting ability. And that relates back to your work ethic. How much time are you putting in order to become a great three-point shooter? Are you staying after practice? Or are you there before practice? Doing things like that. Playing in your role is very important. If your team is asking you to be a defensive stopper and stopping the opponent's best player every single game, then that's what you're going to have to do. If you're trying to contribute to the team and be a great teammate, do what the team is asking of you. If you're one of those players that wants to go against what the team is asking and you're forcing things and doing things you're not so great at, then you're hurting the team and you're hurting yourself. You could end up taking time away from yourself, your playing time, not getting on the court as much because the coach doesn't have that trust and belief in you because you're not doing what is asked. If you do what's asked of you, if you sacrifice for the team, you're always going to put yourself and your team in a better position because of the things that you're doing. But if you learn how to play in your role and you thrive in it, then your role could expand. Your coach may come to you and say, hey, I want you to be a three-point shooter and I want you to guard the opponent's best player because I have that trust, I have that belief in you, and you're able to do these things because you've thrived in that role. You've put the time in, you've worked hard in playing in that role, you've worked hard in doing the things that your coaches have asked you to do. So if you're able to do that, then your teammates are going to see that and they'll be like, okay, he's putting that time in, she's putting that time in. They're thriving in the things that they're asking that player to do, and it's benefited the team and it's benefited you. So make sure that you thrive and you put as much time as you can into the role that you're being asked to play in order to contribute the most to your team. All right, so that's the second thing we just talked about, was being able to thrive in your role. The first thing was your work ethic. How hard do you work in order to contribute to the team? Now, the third thing I want to talk about is, are you an encouraging player? Are you an encouraging teammate? Are you one of those guys are you one of those girls out there that is trying to encourage your teammates to be better? Are you clapping? Are you cheerful? Are you bringing the energy to practices, to games, things like that? Because that can make the slightest difference. Coach Adam, I'll give you an example, would say the most random things in practice. He would just yell, all type of stuff, but you knew he was there with you. You knew he was gonna bring the consistency of the energy that the team needed each and every day that we were practicing or playing in a game. And having a teammate like that makes you feel so much better because you know they're there for you, you know that you can count on them to bring that energy, to bring that encouragement when you need it. If you're not shooting well, do you have a teammate, or are you that teammate that goes to somebody and says, hey, keep your head up, keep shooting, we're here with you? If you're encouraging, your teammates love that. Now, don't be over encouraging where it's too much. you know, where people looking at you like, oh, he's trying too hard or she's trying too hard. But just bring that positive energy, that positive impact, because that can make a big difference. That can bring your team chemistry so much closer to have somebody like that. We call that the glue of the team. Somebody that brings that encouragement and that energy and that excitement and that joyful and cheerfulness to a team is so important, because it brings everybody together and we rally around teammates like that. So if you can be a teammate like that and do all the things we've talked about so far, having a hard work ethic, playing in your role and thriving in it, and still being an encouraging player, then your team is going to thrive off of you, and it's going to help your team become so much better and be more successful. So if you've got to be that glue guy or that glue girl, then do so, because it is a great role to be in. All right, the last thing I want to talk about is do more. Doing more by putting in extra work, putting in extra shots, taking the time to help other teammates, lifting more, showing the coach that you really are trying to study the playbook, things like that. But always try to do more. Go further. Don't do the bare minimum. Don't be a C average. Be an A+. Give yourself an A+ as a teammate grade by doing more that you can to contribute to the team, doing more for yourself to make yourself a better player. Because if you go that extra mile is going to help you when it comes to the end of the season, and maybe you're looked upon to make a big shot or stop the opponent's best player, things like that. So going that extra mile, putting in more work is always going to be helpful and more beneficial for you and for the team. And if you do that, then your teammates again are going to look at you. Like I said earlier, it's contagious. Your work ethic can be contagious. Doing more can be contagious. If they see you putting in that extra work at a consistent rate, they're going to look at you, and maybe one day they'll try to hop in and do some more extra work with you. But always try to do more. Set the standards and bar high for yourself, and that's going to be contagious by setting that standard and bar high for your teammates as well. These are just a couple of great things that you should think about when you're trying to become a great teammate. Have a great work ethic, thrive in your role, do what is ever asked of you to do, and be great in that role. Be an encouraging teammate. Bring that energy, that excitement, that joyfulness, that cheerfulness to the game of basketball that you should love and enjoy, and really just admire and have this, because this is not going to last forever. You're going to have this time. You're going to be a great teammate. Your teammates are going to look back and be like, man, I enjoyed playing with him. Man, I enjoyed playing with her, because of that enjoyment and that excitement that they had for the game of basketball. And do more. Do whatever you have to do in order to be a great teammate, to be a great player, to be something that your teammates will look at you and be like, man, I enjoyed playing with that person right there. So those are all just great things that you should think about when trying to become a great teammate in a game of basketball. All right, Hoopers, well, there you go. There's 4 key points to help you become a better teammate when you're trying to become one. Now, if you enjoyed today's video, do me a favor, click the like button. Also, leave a comment if you'd like to let us know what you think of this video and what you want to see in the future. Now, most importantly is what you do is to click that subscribe button and join ThinkPro Basketball, because every single week we're releasing brand new videos to help you improve your game. That's what we do here. Provide the opportunity, the knowledge, the skills, and drills to help you become a better basketball player and take your game to the next level. That's what we want to do, so make sure that you do click that subscribe button before you go today and join the ThinkPro Basketball family. And until I see you again next time, get out there and work on the 4 things we've talked about today in order to become a great teammate, and remember to always keep hooping. Peace.